I just want to hop on here and say, don't take life so seriously, man. You know, we got one life. What is the point to sit here and take life so seriously? You know, there are serious moments, but aside from that, I know society has created this type of situation where it's almost corny to have fun or to smile or to be kind. Or to be goofy, it's cringe, you know, is the word. And social media can be the biggest fucking weapon in your arsenal to change your fucking life and shape your future and create the life you could always imagine. But if you don't use it the right way, if you just fucking scroll all day, it can be your worst fucking nightmare and your biggest enemy, because you see so many people, quote unquote, doing better than you. And then you get into this mode of getting down on yourself, you know, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you never will be, you know, one of these people that you dream about being. And the issue is you. I mean, you're consuming, you're not creating, you're not posting, you're not documenting your fucking life. And if you would just pick up the fucking phone, stop worrying about what people are gonna fucking say to you or think about you, what your relatives, what your family, you gotta learn to tell them all to fuck off. You do. You gotta tell all of your haters, and those might be the people you love the most that are in your life. Some of them you can't get rid of, like I said, your family, that you just have to tell to fuck right off, because they're taking life too seriously. If they're afraid of judgment from what you're doing, and they're afraid that other people will judge them based on their relation to you, not only is that someone you need to reconsider even being in your life, but they're obviously taking life too serious. And you don't want to be one of these people, you know? And I get in these modes. If you don't know, I make these videos basically for myself, first and foremost. One day I'll get to look back at these, you know? But I am basically talking to myself, you know? Nobody's fucking around me. So I'm talking to my own fucking ears, recording to a video. And I, as a kid, got bullied, and then that transformed into me selling weed and like the popular kids wanting to all be around me and obviously to buy weed and shit. And then that led me into having a big ego, got more into selling drugs, and tried to be this like super tough guy and had a gun and all this dumb shit. You know, and luckily that's a whole nother story as well. Luckily I made it out of that life unscathed. But I went from being bullied on one end of the spectrum to being overly ego and trying to be too cool and tough and Mr. Billy Badass and all this bullshit. And now I find myself at 30 years old coming back to the middle, trying to find myself, you know, not caring what people think about me, not letting judgment about how I dress or what I say on the internet or what I look like or what I enjoy be judged by anybody, because it's my fucking life. And at the end of the day, if you have dreams of becoming famous or known, and being an influencer and just being able to live your life, being you and getting paid for that and having fans and supporters, then you have to trust your own fucking gut. You have to do what you know is right. You can't care what other people are gonna think or say, because they're not the ones gonna fucking get you there. And that one post that you're too scared to fucking post could be the thing that literally changes your fucking life forever. Forever. Whatever that fucking forever. Whatever that meme's from. But, you know, it's like, do you want to stay stuck in this fucking shell of a person, shell of who you are? Like, you know, we're supposed to be humans, we're supposed to be free, but we're fucking turtles. We're trapped inside our fucking shell, and we're too afraid of the danger being fear, judgment. You know, what are people gonna say or think? And that's the thing too, it's like we live in such a snowflake world. The majority of things that you say and think, like 99%, aren't ever gonna end up in violence or physical altercations either. So it's like, why are you afraid of even maybe an altercation that you might have in public or in person with somebody just because they don't fucking like you? Because they're insecure, because they're taking life too seriously, because they're not willing to be free and to do the things that I'm telling you to do, because those are the things that I'm telling myself to do. You know, you can care what people are gonna say and want to try to put this image up of like, I'm so cool and mysterious and whatever the fuck, but people aren't like, that's very rare that you can make it like that, you know. And even that is kind of an age with social media growing into what it is and now just being media. You know, it's not really social anymore, it's just media. So if you want to be relevant, if you want to stay on the top of people's minds, you either had to be this mysterious fucking figure that has continued to stay relevant from a few years ago or years back, or you just have the fucking gift of God and you're able to somehow pull that off, which is very, very, very rare, even more rare than just making it as a celebrity or influencer and building a brand and surviving and living off of what you do. And so you have to fucking just be you. That's what people are gonna fall in love with. If people don't know who you are or don't know what the fuck you're doing, how can people fall in love with what you're doing and who you are? How can they get to know you? How can they get to look at you as a friend or mentor, or maybe a fucking personal relationship one day? You never know how things can evolve through social media, you know, or where social media can take you. But I promise you that if you're being too serious about life, you think everything is fucking life and death, and you overreact and have all this anxiety and worry and fear, maybe not of even just social media, but just life in general, of just like you're always afraid that, you know, you're thinking about the worst case scenario instead of the best. It's like, that's what's holding you back. You're never going to live a fulfilled life living that way. And so you need to take this message very seriously. All I can do is preach the word. And I feel that God has told me to say this. So if you're seeing this, God wants you to stop taking life so seriously, okay? If you're seeing this or listening to this, God wants you to stop taking life so seriously. God wants you to be free, to allow yourself to be fucking free. Be the person you are meant to be the person you want to be, and do not allow yourself to be held back by any of the current circumstances that are holding you back. If you are seeing this right now, God wants you to stop taking life so fucking seriously. See you on the next video.